I mean, how do I describe it? It's
Bold.
A light.
Black.
unapologetically black.
Very funny, amusing.
Caring.
You give great advice from a different perspective. Passionate.
Free.
Vulnerable.
A creative.
Sexy.
My girl is lit as fuck.
Always ready to twerk a little something.
Genuine, very genuine.
Resilient.
Like sixth sense, otherworldly. If you know, you know.
It's so vibrant, baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to So Vibrant, the place where music, history, and culture collide. I am your host, Lady AC, and as always, I hope you had a wonderful week and a good month so far, because as all of us are witnessing, so much is going on around us, near us, and even within our personal lives that makes it hard to really connect to how we feel and process it. And I really do feel that it's done by design, because when you are able to process your emotions and make sense of what you're feeling and be able to move through different things, you're able to create change or promote yourself in a way that does very good for your benefit, for your health, and it even impacts the people around you in the communities that you live in the world that you live in when you're able to do that. But when people or systems more particularly are able to control that and control that momentum, they're going to continue to make you feel like you can't do anything. They're going to continue to make you not want to feel and make you want to be numb and make you not care or make you feel there is nothing more you can do. And understanding that and knowing that makes me feel so fucking angry. Like, really? You spend all if you put that much energy, you could really fix all these problems in this world. But no, you rather take that energy and cause hell for somebody else. Cause hell for us. Make it unbearable for us to really just get the basics in life. Really cause terror and spread fear around just so you can have money, so you can have power. And honestly, there is no power in that. There really isn't. Because how can you thrive? How can you sustain without having to cause more destruction, without causing more hate, without causing more pain in order to keep it going? Like, the thing about it is power should be able to sustain itself. You shouldn't have to be able. It's not powerful to take things away from other people in order for you to thrive. I think it was Toni Morrison that said, like, what kind of power do you have if the only way you receive it is if you have people on their knees? Or you have to step on somebody's neck just to get it? What kind of power is that? It's none. It really isn't. But it's easier to get when you do it that way. But who wants to live like that? And just knowing there are people out there that thrive on that feed off of people's fear and uncertainty and cause chaos, that really does make me angry. The things I see going on around me makes me so, I could chew bricks by some of the stuff I see, scrolling on social media or just hearing about. But I also understand that's a complicated relationship with that as well. Because especially with women, particularly Black women, our relationship with all of our emotions, especially when it comes to anger, has been so policed and has been honestly used as a trope and a discrimination against us that it really prevents us from really enacting out healthy understanding of how we feel, as well as being able to get the treatment that we deserve, the grace that we deserve, and everything, anything along that lines. And I want to use today's episode to talk about that and dive into that. So today's episode is titled Justice for Sapph'ire. Yeah. Justice for her. And I'll dive more into that as we go into today's show. So we're going to go into our musical break and then we'll get right on into it. Be right back.
skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly and my back is strong. Strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. Yeah. My father was rich and wide. He forced my mother late one night. So what do they call me? My name's Sapph'ire. Sapph'ire. Yeah. My skin is tanned. My hair is fine. My hips might invite you, daddy. My mouth like wine. Who's little girl am I? Anyone who has money to buy. What do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. Sweet Thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. Hey, my life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slaves. Ooh, what do they call me? Aunt Sarah. What do they call me? Sapph'ire. What do they call me? Sweet Thing. What do they call me? My name is Peaches. Yeah.
And that was Marsha, Ambrosius, Ledisi, Kelly Price, and Jill Scott with For Woman, the live cover of the Nina Simone classic. And I feel that song just completely covers exactly what I'm going to dive into today. So for anybody who doesn't know, that was a live cover of the Nina Simone classic For Women, where Nina Simone did a beautiful song talking about the archetypes and which ultimately became tropes and stereotypes of Black women. Of course, these stereotypes were born out of slavery to justify the treatment the disrespect, the degrading nature of how Black women basically deserve to get the treatment that they done. But when you listen to each lyric and the story of why Black women became, or each of those women felt the way that they were, it was always due to the circumstances that they, and the experiences that they grew up in. For so long, people were using those experiences against us, against women, Black women, to stop them from feeling, to stop them from questioning, to stop them from fighting. And we see that today as, when I can even, being a Black woman myself, I can even say within my own personal life, there were so many times where my anger was policed, where I was told and questioned, how could I feel this way? Or did I deserve to feel this way? Or even being told, the treatment that I received, I deserved because of the position I put myself in, or because I behaved a certain way, or because I acted a certain way. And so it gets so ingrained in you that you start to do it to yourself. And that's what the most insidious thing about these systems, from patriarchy, from sexism, from white supremacy, is that they have a way of making the oppressed, or the people who they are controlling, be able to do the controlling to themselves. And one of those major ways they have done that, especially in the experience of Black women, is through controlling our emotions. By telling us we're too loud, by telling us we're unprofessional by the way we naturally look and sound and feel. And we're justified in all of those feelings. And I feel for so long we have stifled that. We have hidden or locked those things away. Or what we're starting to see now is that we start to take it out or misplace it in different ways. We take it out on ourselves, or we take it out on people who don't deserve it, or we take it out on people in proximity, instead of the ones who originally caused the anger and the pain and the hurt. All due to safety. And when we pull back the curtain on that, all due to safety and protection of ourselves, or pretty much a place when we finally get to a place of needing to exercise that energy off somewhere. But with all these studies that are coming out showing how damaging that is to our physical health, and how that shows up mentally and emotionally and physically through, autoimmune diseases and growing issues in mental health, because our body stores all that energy that we do not, all those energies, all that emotion that we do not get the right to have. And it should not be that way. It should never get to that point. But somehow it has. And I feel it's time for us to take control of that. And that's why I kind of like the fact that we did the concept of the Great Step Back. And for anybody to catch up anybody on that, that was basically after we saw how this election panned out, and us physically seeing how us literally putting our minds, our bodies, our skills on the line, and people take advantage of that and basically not show up for us as much as we show up for everybody else. And we chose to step back. I really hope in this stepping back that we as Black women are starting to really create spaces where we can finally feel the things that we felt and the disrespect that we took, and really be able to exercise those feelings. In the spirit of that, I saw this I think it was on Instagram, the Instagram video, and it was like, the caption said the point of view was like, when you finally get to a safe space where you can remember all the trauma and all the ways people had you effed up. And so throughout the whole video, it was like this girl doing the random Black girl doing random stuff. And in it, she would pause, like she could be vacuuming. She was like reading. She was like washing dishes, doing laundry. She was just taking a walk. She went on like a lunch break or something. But each time she did that, she was like, the fuck? fuck? Like, and it made me laugh because that when you finally get to that safe space and finally create those spaces where you can finally feel everything that you couldn't do while you were in, whether it was in survival mode or if you had suppressed those feelings, and you finally get to a moment where you can actually feel those things, you really are sitting there like, what the hell? Did I let that happen? I really let that person talk to me? Oh, they really had me messed all the way up. Like, because I remember definitely when there was a space in my healing journey where I was safe enough to finally reflect and feel and grow and just look back at the things of understanding, where I was. I was like, I really let that bitch, I really, that mother, like, I cussed so many people out in that safe space. Honey, I turned to Samuel L. Jackson for a good 30 minutes when I realized all the stuff I had stifled and let go of. And then after that happens, there is this wave of shock and shame. Just being real. Because it's like, how did I allow that to happen? Like, I really let that person feel they could do that. I really let that person think that was okay. I thought that was okay in that moment. How could I do that? But that's when we have to really give ourselves grace. That's when we really have to be patient in the processing of that. Because we have to understand that from young ages, from girlhood, we were programmed to do that. We were programmed to not let those emotions control us, ironically. And, keep our heads high and hold our heads up and take the high road, in those ways. So that way we could keep the money still flowing, to keep the bills still being paid out, to keep the peace within the family unit and all that stuff. But not realizing the damage we were doing to ourselves in the process. Like, it's like for all this stuff to stay afloat, we had to be the raft. Like, who decided that we have to be that? Why was that okay for us to be the sacrificial lamb in this sense? That was the greatest shock of me, of how many people benefited off of me being crushed. How many people were able to stand tall on the fact that I was suffering? When I, like that, the mind bending, or what I like to call the mental gymnastics that I went through with understanding that, I was like, oh, hell no, this can't keep happening. This can't, In that moment, I found and reclaimed my angry Black woman. And I think as a whole, Black women need to do that. We need to reclaim and stand in our angry Black woman, because for so long that label alone has stopped us from really claiming what is ours, from really asserting ourselves and being being the bosses that we really are, or being in control of our lives and really gaining all that we should and all that we deserve, because we were so quick to not want to be that. Because we saw with that stereotype how intimidating people felt, how quick to judge, how quick to call us that we had an attitude, and that we weren't grown, and that in a professional situation, how, you're being aggressive, you are not able to work well with others, and all those other little sayings that folks be saying, where they try to get you to conform back into what they need and what they want, and just stay in your little position, do your little job, and you can't really say anything because you are pressured to feel that whatever you're working on or whatever position you're in or whatever you feel will be jeopardized. Not realizing that you're still going to get the same treatment even if you conform to what they want. You assimilate to what they feel. I think we also don't realize how that affects us spiritually too. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I meditate a lot. And that tends to help me, especially process the things I'm experiencing. I see clarity and I receive that clarity in decisions and moving forward and just overall bring me back in balance with myself. I end up during one of my meditations actually meeting my personification of my anger. So if I can be vulnerable with y'all, I'm going to tell y'all about that experience. And I remember in this particular meditation, I was in this empty space. It wasn't really dark. It was just kind of like, like I was sitting on a very soft pillow-like floor. And I was just kind of relaxing. I felt like a little cool of a breeze, it kind of, there was like a skylight coming in. So I was just in this nice little room that was warm and just soothing. And as I'm sitting there, I started to notice this light. And it started like almost like a night light. Kind of, that's how it started. Like, when you plug in that light, that first little kind of set that nice little ambiance kind of feel. But as the longer I sit there, the light starts to grow. And grow. And grow. And grow. And as the light is getting bigger, I start to feel the temperature in that rise. Wasn't like a sauna, but it wasn't like I was burning up either. Like I didn't need water, but I had a little bead of sweat come up, but it wasn't that bad. But that light just kept growing and growing and growing to literally, I look over to the left and I see this, like, it started off as a ball of literally fire, but then it started to take shape. And it shaped into a woman who had these burning black eyes, and then you can see the lips, and you can see the hips, and you can see like the arms, and then the fire shaped her hair into like this afro, huge afro, but it was on fire, like all of it. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she started to step towards me. And before I could even move or decide what to do, she steps up like, "Hey, we need to talk. Because I'm angry as hell." Okay, let's see something. All right, let's sit. Let's talk. What's going on? And she's like, "How can you not deal with this? Like, how dare you not deal with this?" Deal with what? Like, what you mean? Like, what you talking about? Like, talk to, okay, let's just get straight to it. What do you mean? I get you angry. Obviously, you on fire about it. Let's talk about it. And that's when she begins to just go off, like, just about everything. But in that, what I remember particularly, it was that she was like, "You deserve so much better. You don't deserve to be treated like this. How dare you allow this? No, I want to protect you. I want for better for us. I'm going to get you out of this. You need to feel me." And so that's when I asked her, I said, "Well, then who are you for me to feel you?" She looks me dead in the face and says, "My name is Sapph'ire wrath. And between you and me, we are mad as fuck. And it's time to let this shit out." I was like, girl. In a weird way, like, when I say weird, like interesting, when I tell you I felt that so deeply, I was like, you know what? You're right. We need to get this shit off. We need to let this go. In that moment, we connected. And in everything she was going off about, we were both just kind of maneuvering and going through it. And what I was doing, not realizing, was we were actively processing everything I was going through. I had literally suppressed up until that point. The fire never really went out or never cooled, but I do remember us getting to a place where both of us were content. And out of that meditation, I just knew it was time to literally put the fire under my ass and make some changes and grow and really start to understand that what I felt, what I feel, what I process, not only from back then, but in every moment I live now, I have to work through that. I have to feel that. I have to embrace that. And I have to embrace that in that moment and not wait and not pack it on in all those ways. As a result of that, it changed me to understand how important it is to feel, how to embrace every emotion that comes and deal with it in that moment, or at least make time for me to deal with it. So that way I don't, suppress anything anymore. I don't feel constricted. I don't stop feeling. So that way I truly can make change. And so now, when I look at things that are going on around me, not just within my life, but just with the different things we see on social media, I allow myself to acknowledge that pissed me off. This should not happen. I don't like this. I ain't gonna deal with that. I'm not, or I need to do more about this, or I need to change this, or I need to stick to this protest, or I need to stick to this change. I can commit to this new lifestyle. I can commit to this new change. I can do, and just found different ways of me living out my way of serving myself, the community around me, and just things that needed to happen, or necessary changes that need to happen, really, and not to be stuck, really. And I share all this to say that when we finally, especially as women, especially Black women, finally get in touch with every each and single bit of our emotions, we're able to make better decisions in how we move forward and how we see ourselves and pour into ourselves, and when not to pour into others. And honestly make space for the feelings to come in. Because I feel that also is one of the biggest problems, is that we don't give ourselves space and allowance to have those emotions come in. With y'all, there was a point this week I had to make space for my anger because I was so tired of what I see going on in Gaza. I can't stand the fact that people have normalized seeing all these dead, beautiful babies. I can't. I am tired of every other day seeing Black girls, indigenous and brown girls missing or being found miles away from home. And then people treat it like it's just another story. It's just another thing. It makes no sense to see people of the LGBTQIA community being treated the way they do, especially my trans women and trans men being tortured, being denied quality health care or gender affirming care or HIV prevention. And of course, all those things apply for all of us, but we know, from what we've seen, that hits them in a very large, disproportionately rate. And literally label and try to discredit the work that African Americans have done in the army or in history or throughout our culture. Labeling it like DEIA. Well, the correct term is DEIA. That gets me upset as well, because they keep leaving the A off. because accessibility, disability, everything along that lines, they deserve justice and dignity. Like, I don't understand how that just doesn't hit anybody's integrity. How do you reduce the humanity of somebody? Because you know what? And what I realized in process migrant is because they don't care. They never did care. All they care about is control and money and power. But once again, what kind of control, what kind of power do you have when you have to create this much destruction? If anything, I flip it and realize just how powerful and great we already are. Because just us existing threatens their power. So what kind of power is that they have? If they're just somebody literally existing in their truth, threatens you that much, scares you that bad, that we really don't need to live under these systems the way we have been. We really don't have to take in the messages and the concepts and the ways they are trying so hard to degrade us and reduce our worth. I don't have to constantly keep proving myself because I already am that. The reason I have to constantly keep doing that is to make you feel good. The reason we have to constantly get bothered or get abused or get discriminated against or get othered, it's just so they can feel better about themselves. And when you think about it, it really is sad. It makes, now I don't feel sad for you because you don't have to live that way. You don't have to treat people that way. You don't have to ignore people and reduce them to stuff or kidnap them and deport them and take away their rights and do all. You don't have to live that way. But you feel, and when I say you, I'm talking to these people in these systems, they feel this way just so they can be secure in the shaky foundations that they built. So for us, or for my listeners, or for anybody who is hanging on with me, like, I just feel that it is time for us to fully reclaim the power that is within our emotions, within our mentalities, within our mental health and physical health, so that way we can continue to live with the cheat code of community and support and love. Because that's the only way we're going to continue to get through this, to see a better future, to make and create a better future than what they're trying to present us or make us feel is normal. Because if we're being real honest, none of this is normal. None of this has ever been normal. And the way we've been living has laid the groundwork for the things that we are seeing today. The reason, they're able to take our rights away so easily is because this country has allowed Black people's rights to be taken away and not being seen as human, have let indigenous people be seen and reduced to less than human, have let certain immigrants, especially the darker ones, be reduced and not given humanity. So no wonder they just can easily snatch all that away now. They can easily snatch people up away now. They've been doing this. They're literally copying the same methods that they've been doing since this country began. They're not doing anything new. They're just literally recycling these same tactics. But what has always on our end been our benefit and has been our greatest tool against this has been our togetherness and our connection to ourselves and our culture and our communities. That has always been our greatest tool, our greatest power, our greatest advantage. And I think it's time for us to get back to that point to truly reclaim that. But it starts within ourselves, and the very first powerful way of doing that is reclaiming how you feel. Ain't that some powerful shit? Man, just your feelings alone, just by owning and being able to master them, you can change the world because you change yourself first. You motivate yourself first. You push yourself first to do better. And what's more powerful than that?
There's nothing left to say, nothing left to do but go my own way. Fresh out of sorries now, I can't apologize for nothing today. And I'll be just fine if I stumble. I'll keep going like before. I don't know all, but I know I come too far to stay right here. I've really had enough now. Time to take that high road again. I'll never turn around. I gotta take that high road again. You can't assume you know my story when it's never been told. After a while, all the assumptions and advice got too old. And just like the sun goes down and a new day comes, some people can change. Some people can change. So understand that all this changes for me, and some still remain. And some still remain. And I'll be just fine if I stumble. I'll keep going like before. I don't know it all, but I know I come too far to stay right here. I've really had enough. I've really had enough. Take that high road again. I gotta. I'll never turn around. Never, never. Gotta take that high road again. Oh, I've really had enough. Time to take that high road again. I'll never turn around. Gotta take that high road again.
And that was Muhsinah featuring Alex Isley with High Road. So I'm going to leave you with that, y'all. So to this day, please reclaim your angry black woman. Reclaim your sadness. Reclaim your joy, your happiness. All these emotions. So that way you can be the change that you want to see in this world. I know I'm trying, at least. So I hope you try too. So, of course, if you want to reach me, just say hey. I am on all social medias. Facebook.com Queen Lady AC. On Instagram and Threads is _ I am Lady AC. And on X or Twitter, I am all capital I am Lady AC. Alright, y'all. So until next week, be in touch with them emotions, be in control of yourself, and keep loving, keep living. I'll see you next week.